Welcome back, guys. I have a review here for 10273 Haunted House. This is a direct-to-consumer set that was released on, I believe it was May 20th for VIPs, and I was able to get my hands on one. So today here we have the Haunted House, and it's pretty cool because both it seems to be a spiritual successor to the 2012 Haunted House that a lot of people adored, including myself, and like a lot of other people. I've not been able to get their hands on it because it is way too expensive now. But also, it is a fairground attraction, which means the ride that's inside here is a free fall tower. So essentially, this is Twilight Zone Tower of Terror from Disney in the form of a haunted house. So anyway, through this video, we're going to go through, take a look at each of the minifigs, and then I will take you through the inside of the haunted house and how the system works. And at the end, I will give my final thoughts on the set. Now, let's take a look at the minifigs.
Okay, now the minifigs. So, first off we have, I would assume, what is the tour guide of sorts for the ride. He is using one of the more common city faces, vest with a blue tie and normal pants, but the weird part about him is you get two of him, and I thought that was kind of clever for this haunted house kind of having a very creepy vibe. You have two of him, so I don't know if, like, supposed to be like, I don't know if you guys saw the commercial or not, but in the commercial it shows him going in with the group of guests into the house, and he's already inside, so if you want to set it up, you can, which is actually kind of cool. There's not more very specific about this minifig. He has a nice printed vest, and he has some back printing as well, just a smidge of it, but I mean, a good figure, just nothing too specific for this one. Let's take a look at the next one. Next we have the Ghost, and I don't know if it's specifically a reference to Adventures. There is a decent amount of Adventures references in this set, which unfortunately that was a little past my time. But these ghosts are very interesting for the fact that their heads, if I take off the cape, their heads kind of look almost like they're drawn on a little, which I thought was interesting. And they have a sad face for the alternate face, but they're very basic, just using one of the curved slopes that's used in some dresses, and a plain white torso, but still a very nice design in my opinion for a ghost, and I'm glad you get two of them at least. It would have been cool maybe if you could have gotten more, but it is cool to get two. And I am glad they included them. And let's take a look at the civilians. Next we have here is actually probably one of my personal favorites. I'm kind of labeling it the Chris Pratt figure, just from the face and the hair. If we take a close look at that face print, I don't know if it's been used. Come on, camera, focus. Focus. Okay, it's struggling. If you look at the face here with the sideburns and the little smile, it kind of reminds me of a little bit of a younger Chris Pratt. And the hairstyle is, it's very nice. I know I've seen this around. I can't remember what specific figures have used this one, but it's in a nice nougat from the looks of it. Also, the torso, I like the jacket. I feel like it's been in one upcoming Hidden Side set, I think, but it's a nice looking jacket with a purple shirt under it and standard dark blue legs. But so I think there might be an alternate face. Oh, there is not. Well, I'm wrong on that. But a nice figure overall, is one of my favorites. But let's take a look at the others. Next we have this minifig. This one is also using a lot of common parts, using a pretty common head, along with the what is labeled as the Karen hair. And one of the more common female torsos, just a small amount of back printing, and just one of the normal torsos, so nothing specific. The one downside of this set is there's nothing really cool about the figures. The only thing that I would say is a good upside is the fact that you get two of the tour guide and the ghost, but it is a little upsetting that mainly these figures are pretty much what you would see in a normal city line. So I guess if you're wanting to adapt this into your city, that's good, but it is still a shame that there's nothing really unique about them. Anyway, let's take a look at the rest. Next we have this girl, and I do like at least one thing is that she is using what looks to be like a high school jacket, which is nice with the blue torso. It says squids, yeah, squids on the back there. Orange arms. It looks nice. I am glad for the design. It's a good design. Has black legs and the a very common female head and hairpiece. But still actually a good figure, just still, again, nothing too unique about it. And then again, now we have here our final female minifigure, and I do like her jacket. I'm not sure if it was used in many sets. I know the headpiece was not used in many sets. It was used in I think the Hidden Side School set, and maybe some others, but it's not been used in much. I'm not sure about the jacket either. I don't remember seeing that piece too much, and she just has one of the more normal female hair pieces. But still, not a bad minifigure, and I'm glad that we get the jacket and the head, as those I think are on the rarer side for what we see in the sets today. And let's take a look at the final minifig. And what we have left here is this guy in a wheelchair. Now, I know we've seen this wheelchair design in a couple sets. I still really love it, though. I think it's a pretty good design. And we have seen that sweater before. I believe we've seen it in a People Pack, I believe. That sweater, I could be wrong. It's either a modular or a People Pack. I think we saw it using the comb-over hair and a very scared expression. He's not really sure what's about to happen as he's going in this haunted house, and he's got his ticket in hand very nervously. So wonder if this guy maybe just isn't a huge fan of haunted houses. But still a good minifig. I like the wheelchair. It makes it a little bit different for the lineup for having the wheelchair in it. It's a nice piece to get in a set. So, yep. Good figure. They're good figures overall, but like I said, just my main issue with it is that I feel like they could have done better with the minifigs to make it more unique. It would be kind of interesting if like the tour guide was some like Josh Thunder or something like that, or Johnny Thunder, just to be kind of interesting. But I do like the tour guide, how he is kind of like, he looks very happy, but it's also with the setting of the set, it kind of gives somewhat of a eerie, creepy vibe. Anyway, let's take a look at the set. Okay, now we have here the actual haunted house, and it is very, very tall. I moved over here to my city display, and at least put some perspective in here. It is substantially taller than pretty much any other building in this display. And there's some modulars in here that are a fair size, so it's a tall set. I'm not sure on the exact height. You could probably go to lego.com to tell you, but anyway, we can take a look around in the outside, and then we'll take a look on the inside. So first, here on the front porch, you have the area where you go inside the haunted house, and it's hard to see in there, and I'll try and get a better look when we actually, open up. But right there, it may be hard to see, is actually where you, use your tickets to get on the ride, where the person would be to take them there. Probably the twin brother of the guy who told you to go inside. Some nice detail on the porch. It's a really detailed house. I actually really like the detailing around it. Lamps are really nice. I like the wheelchair ramp. That's really nice, since they included a guy with a wheelchair. That's cool that half of it is wheelchair accessible. Over here we have what looks to be like a little bit of a graveyard, kind of run down. You got a pumpkin and using some of the Groot arms there as I don't know, like roots or vines or something coming out of the ground. It looks very dead. I like the dead plant there in front of the gravestone. It looks nice. But overall, I like the outside of the front here. It's got good presence, I would say. I really like the windows that are used here, the style that's kept through it. Again, kind of looks just really nice with that brown on that on the olive green. Also, we have a little bit of stained glass windows here, which is really nice. And also the sign saying the Manor von Baron, which actually, and I'll show you in the inside better, but it's actually, you probably can't see all that well, it's triggering a light brick when you press on it. So I'll show you that better when we're inside. Like the roof pieces, using like those lance pieces for the tops of each of the points of the building, which is really nice. Wait, let's take a look around back. So around the side, there isn't a whole lot. There is one detail I probably forgot to show you guys. This little knob right here actually opens and closes the door. So if I get that lined up there and I turn this, closes the door. And the doors are they're pretty nice. They're brick built. But it's a pretty cool feature that works pretty well. So that's nice. But again, not a whole lot around the side here. Up the tower, it's pretty much the same styling. Though you can start to see the chain, and that's the one part of the ride. This is maybe one more small thing for me that makes this set a little not as cool, is obviously that this is all shown. So it's really hard if you like have a display for it where you're seeing it from all four sides. But really, I can't blame them too much for this, how this mechanism works for the freefall tower. And I'll show you in the end, guys, how it works. But pretty much it's very simple. You just turn this crank here and it'll raise it up and drop it. But it's pretty cool. These little pins here catch the car on the inside. But yeah, the back's pretty bland, but pretty good still. It's pretty good. Other side is also fairly generic, but still good. They give you windows on the side. I do like the outside of the building. It may not sound it as much. Sorry, trying to do this one hand. This is hard. It's a very nice exterior. I really do like this building on the outside, and I think it has good presence. It's just a shame that really the back, it's just hard to hide the mechanism. The mechanism takes up a large part of the set, which part of me really enjoys the fact, like, it works really well, and it's cool that they did it. Part of me just wishes maybe it just solely had been a building. But anyway, let's take a look at the inside here. There is a lot that's going on in here. I do like how it opens up, how it kind of just halfway in between. Now, again, I'll try and show you everything in here, so if you do know what you're looking at, you'll actually get the references. Again, I didn't do adventure sets as a kid, and so I won't get the references as much. I can more just appreciate the detail. But I will try and show you everything in the house. That way you can look for yourself to find the different hidden secrets in this place. So first I'm going to show you the light bricks. So you have here you have the Baron himself from Adventures, I would imagine, holding a jewel. And if I press the sign from the front, you'll see the mummy glowing out from the jewel. So I thought that was pretty cool how that was done. I'm not going to give away how they did it. You might be able to figure it out yourself, but it's a pretty cool feature. Down here in this room, we have a little bit of detail up here with the, I would assume those are either statues, maybe. I'm not sure. Kind of looks like Anubis or something, but pretty interesting. I love this piano, this organ, sorry. I really love the design of this, how they used like the candlestick pieces and they stacked them. It's really interesting detail. I just really love the design here. It's very grand, and the way that it's built is very intricate. I really do like the design. There's not a whole lot else going on in this room. You have a little box of like a shovel and a pickaxe in there. As we go over here to the front, we have more like hieroglyphics here. Some more candles. Not a whole lot going on in this room, but also this is where like the main contraption is for the freefall tower. Up here, we have a little bit of stuff. We have this display for some type of artifact. Behind that, there's not a whole lot of stuff. It looks like a TNT, almost looks like a TNT like starter or whatever. It's interesting at least, but not a whole lot going on right there. We have over here, now I do believe this is an Adventures reference, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. It might be an Alpha Team reference, if I'm correct. I think there was one Alpha Team reference in this build, but just some other artifacts and stuff in here. There's not, unfortunately, this contraption takes up a lot of room here in the actual building. Also, there's some cobwebs there. It takes up a lot of room in the actual building. So there's a lot of small vignettes, almost in the style of like the Jurassic Park set, which isn't bad. It's really nice. It's just, again, a shame with the ride system, how it just took up so much of the building. We have this guy, upside down skeleton, with the same hat as the tour guide. So that's kind of cool. It's just hanging. And under there we have a little desk area. I like the skeletons that are used under the candles. That's really nice. And you have the chalice and the... I'm not sure what the lamp is supposed to represent. but it's interesting, and I like the little snake petering out from under the table. And here's the back of the door. Really can't get to the mechanism from this angle, but it's very interesting how the door opens. Over here we have another little like display over here with the skeleton and the jewel. Again, don't get the reference, I'm sorry, but if you do, then hey, better for you then. And then we have the little ticket booth like I mentioned before, and the little lever, which I guess would simulate the ride system. But yeah, it's very interesting. Also, one last thing before we get to the ride system itself, we have what looks to be like a mummy or sphinx reference here and shown. I do like it in the overall design of the freefall tower. I do like that that's above it. It looks very nice. I like the detail there. Now, as we get to the ride system here, it's actually very interesting. You actually can pull out the actual car itself. It's very simple. It just clips into that brick right there. But it's a very nice design, honestly. You have your bars here for where you can fit 2 minifigs in and lower it down when they're inside. It says Manor von Baron on the actual print there. And also, there's no stickers in this entire set, which is actually really nice. But yeah, it just slides on in there and clips in. And you can actually bring out the whole thing. If I take out, I'm gonna do this one-handed, if possible. You can take out the sides here very easily, and the whole elevator actually will come out. So this is very much the Tower of Terror. It really is, honestly, but it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna be able to show you all the innards just because that's hard to get to, but it's very interesting design with how it's set up. But yeah, also down here for when it does drop, there's these little rubber things. I don't know what they're called, but you know, they've been used in several sets, but they just help the fall. But it's a really nice design. It's a really good system, and I still think it's pretty funny that they're basically doing the Tower of Terror. So yeah. As I'm trying to put this back one-handed, don't anyone tell you that this is easy to do one-handed, filming and also putting this back together. I'm gonna switch hands. Probably would do me better. I'm just gonna ignore. Oh man. That's why I need a camera person. Anyway, for the actual design, I'm just gonna, so the actual mechanism, like I said, is around the back. I can try and get you a better look there. The crank is right there, chain's right there, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you it in action, and I can also show you it from behind. So, the little clip there that you can see through there will come around. There's 2 of them actually. It will come around and it will catch it, like right now. And it will pick up the car, and it holds it. You don't have to like hold the crank. With its ratchet system, it'll keep it in place. But it's pretty cool. You can see it go up here toward the top, and then when it gets to the very top, door opens and drop. And it's a pretty good system. It works every time, and it works well. I really like the design. Like, even though it does take up a lot of the actual building, it's a very intricate design. And it's very clever. I'm pretty happy with it. I can show you again what it looks like from the actual back. So, this little ratchet system will keep it in place. But if I turn the crank, gotta turn it the right way. If I turn the crank, you can see it going up right there. And right there is where the door opens. And then I'll try and get back so you can see it drop. it goes down pretty fast, and it actually is like for a minifigure scale, it would be actually a pretty decent drop. Now this set is actually you can actually power it up as well. You can buy the hub and the motor for this to where you could just get it to run on its own, which would actually be pretty cool. I might invest in that come Halloween time. Or maybe sooner, depending. The area that I actually currently have it in, and the reason why I wanted to buy it now instead of in October, like I feel like a lot of people are doing, is I'm actually building a little amusement park in my city, and so I actually have a plot of land. Currently, where I moved the plates off the table so I could actually have room for this, but currently where it stands is actually where it's gonna continue to be. But I actually needed some main fairground attraction for this, and this set was released, and I thought it'd be pretty good. And also, it gives you guys a chance to actually see it, as I think a lot of people are probably holding off for the fact that even though this is a fairground set, it's kind of Halloween themed, and that's kind of the hard part for when this is announced and it was released, is with everything going on in the world right now, and when this set released, a lot of people are saying, they're just going to hold off for now and wait till October. But now already it's out of stock for several months. So that is a shame. It is good that stores are opening back up, so then maybe if stores get them in stock, you can get them. I'm afraid it might be a little hard to get this set just because of everything going on. Maybe kind of like the Friends set or the Chinese New Year sets. Just hard to get your hands on, but eventually it will be available. I don't think people should panic on that, especially some sets that maybe are going to retire. I do feel that they're probably going to get some restocks before they retire. I think Lego knows this. But anyway, this is, I'm getting off topic here. But pretty much my final thoughts on this. I think this is a great set. You get a little over 3,000 pieces. I think it's like 3,100 pieces. For $250, I am kind of a price per piece ratio guy, but I try to look sets also at what everything is in here, and when I compare to like my modulars, which are very detailed on the inside, this is really large for what you get. The system is really cool, and even though there's not a whole lot of space and you're having to do more vignette style, there's still a ton of detail in this set, and I love the atmosphere. My opinion is, if you missed out on the original Haunted House, and this looks interesting to you, I would say get it. It's a good set, and I think it would look good in probably any display. The olive green, I think, looks well. I think it would look good in either like a fairground type setting or in a Halloween type setting, depending on how you want to display it. But if you are on the fence and the price is worrying you, maybe just give it time and wait for a good promotional gift. I do think this is a really good value for a set. Compared to other direct-to-consumer sets, I do think you get a lot for this set. And I think if you like the ride system, and you want a good fairground set, but you don't want to pay like the price of like the roller coaster for that, but you still want a good fairground set, I think this perfectly fits that void right now. So that is my review, guys, on the Haunted House. I hope you enjoyed it. I plan to do some more reviews soon, but I just wanted to get this review out to you guys as soon as I could. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this helped you make a decision whether you are going to get it when it does become available or not. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video.